this just basically gives you a look at my solar system that I use to power my Bigfoot command center when I'm out in the field. And there's three 15-watt panels for a total of 45 watts on the roof. Okay, that's the three panels. There are 45 watts total. That's on my trailer that charges the battery pack. And but this usually goes with me if I'm going out in the field for an extended period of time. Those solar panels go with me so that I can stay out in the field for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and still run off of just electrical power. It does pump 45 watts in during the day and charges my batteries, or I can run an inverter, non-grid tie inverter, that allows me to run 110 volts for my surveillance system that you can see the cameras on the top, which consists of a DVR, a 27-inch flat screen TV, and a computer, which allows me to look at pictures and photos and watch movies and do computer work out in the field. So that's basically how this is. Now, of course, when these batteries are full, I can hook right into the house and help assist the other solar array farm in the back, and that's another 45 watts that's being pumped into the house. So my electric bill should drop to almost nothing. Alright, this is my battery pack that I use when I'm chasing Bigfoot. It's being charged right now by 3 solar panels that are independent from the other solar panels that'll be on this video. Right now we're putting in 12.5 volts. The sun is going down, but I've got all these batteries. There's 2 12-volt deep cycle marine batteries hooked up in parallel, and 2 RV batteries hooked in parallel to all of them. So actually they're all one system with these little jumper cables that I've made. So they're 12 volt. Now this little converter, this is not an inverter, this is a converter, and it basically gives me 3, 5, 6, 9, and 12 volts out the front side, and it hooks up in the back side just like the other inverters. I'll turn it around a little bit. Okay, as you can see, we have the battery on one side and the solar panel on the other side, and the solar panel takes over the charging of the batteries during the day, and then we can draw off the batteries at night out of the front side. This is the inverter that I normally use to power my trailer, my command center. It's made by Black & Decker. I got it at Walmart for about $49–50. That was over a year ago. It puts out 750 watts. And it hooks up real easy. The 2 cables in the back just basically have jumper grips on it, positive and negative, and you just flat hook that up to a 12 volt battery. When you turn it on, you get 115 volts AC on each side there, and 5 volts DC in the middle, in case you need something to charge something like a camera or cell phone or something like that. It takes a USB port to do that. But as far as the AC goes, it's just like handling household current. You just plug in there into those 2 ports there with regular sockets, and you can run TVs, my surveillance system, DVR, radio, music, whatever. So that's about the heart of it. I'm very impressed with the system. Works very well. Okay, this is my big inverter, and it is not a grid tie. It basically ties into the batteries, or into a battery pack. You can see the positive and negative battery terminals there on the back side that go in, and it will handle up to 2,000 watts, which will power the entire house, depending upon the size of the battery pack that I have, for probably 6 to 8 hours. However, this does not have a grid tie, so we basically have to plug into one of those wall sockets right there, and our main breaker on the house would have to be thrown or opened, so that we would not be receiving any power or sending any power out on the line, and then we could actually hook into the house and pump some voltage there. You can see the on-off switch there. I use this one quite often when I'm doing a lot of power requirements in the wilderness. I will take this and use it when I need to run power tools, drills, saws, and it'll also run a refrigerator, TV, 2,000 watts will just about do a house. So this is my big one. This is my 350 or 100 watt panels that are up on my roof. This is about the only angle I can get at it where you can see them fairly good. They offer 300 watts coming down on the line off the roof, and I basically mounted them to my old non-functioning water heater, solar water heater, and so now I'm drawing electric instead of drawing hot water. Much better deal, really, to tell you the truth. Another look at the solar panels up on the roof. Okay, this is a Grid Tie Inverter, 500 watt, 120 volts AC. Basically, over here, you've got the wires coming off the solar panels. I have 3 100 watt solar panels on top of the house. It's coming down and hooks into the back with just some easy connections there. Okay, so that side is DC, and then AC comes out this side. Now I wanted to show this side here. This is AC coming out right here, and it comes right down here and plugs right into the wall socket. Okay, now this Grid Tie Inverter has safety devices within it to where if it doesn't sense anything on this line here, in other words the house grid, it won't turn on, and therefore we won't be electrocuting somebody if there's a down power pole somewhere and a lineman's out there trying to fix it. We're not pumping power into the line and thus going to hurt anybody. So right now it's going, the green light is on. It is flickering, however that signals one of two things. It's either out of sync or there's not enough power up on the roof. Well, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and we're waning on the power, and therefore it's probably a little slow on the power. So I'm going to turn it off for a moment. Alright, and then I'm going to turn it back on. And it'll blink for a few minutes and then it's synced up. Now it's pumping power into the house. Actually, if I had enough power coming off the roof, it'll run my meter backwards, and the utility company has to buy my power from me. Yeah, it looks like it's running pretty good now, so we're going to make good of our last bit of sunlight that's up on the roof. This is my power meter, and what I've done is I've plugged it into the wattage is coming off the roof, the one inverter that it's the 500 watt inverter, and it's only pumping 32 watts right now into the grid because of the lowness of the sun. If we got direct sunlight, that will be up there to 120, 130 watts. That's my solar farm out there in the backyard. You can see that it's still lit up by the sunlight, and I've got 405 watts of panels out there. In a little bit we'll go see how much is actually coming off. Okay, this is my 1000 watt Grid Tie Inverter, and it's another one that basically ties into the grid of the house. This is where the plug comes out and goes into a cord that runs into the house. So we're actually powering house voltage with it, along with that other one, and that allows us to keep our electric bill down. Okay, and it also has two posts where they just are positive and negative. All of the positives from our solar panels, from our solar farm, all the positives are on one side and all of the negatives are grouped on the other side. So the system is 12 volt, and that allows us to run this 12 volt inverter. And I'm going to take a power reading on it here in a few minutes and see how much we're... Okay, our power meter is showing that we're getting 20, 25, 35 watts, 48 watts, so we're still building up. 65 watts. But we're actually going to be losing power because the shadows and the sunlight on my solar array are actually waning. It's going down, so we're going to lose power for the night. And basically what will happen is when it gets down to a certain voltage, it'll just turn off.